Sing on?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Vera. Wow. What a great start to the show. Oh, dear. As you can see, we're down to bare bones today, and my voice is down to bare bones as well. Obviously, Three Musketeers right and strong today. Jeffrey Emmett, how are you, good sir?
Darling. Oh my God. So this has just been the week that I've had. I've done either a show or show stuff every night this week. We're getting ready. We're doing an event this weekend, Saturday, 8:00 Eastern. We're doing Uncensored Radio presents Scranton Comedy Club. So check out the event, watch some comedy. It's going to be good. The place is always packed, so we're hoping it translates to streaming. So make sure you check that out. You can just go to our page. You can look for the event. Come check it out. We're trying to get it all situated. It's the first show. If you can't hear it, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Blame the new tech guy I hired.
So we'll create an event on Facebook as well to let everyone know and all that kind of stuff. But we'll promote it more, is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, I haven't, just in case.
Yeah, well, we're gonna So check it out. Vera, you're on holidays. How's it going?
It's been lovely. I've been at the lodge having a spa day for the last 48 hours. It should be all glowy, but he can't tell. So you can see my manicure.
Do they use a cucumber?
No. They're little cotton pads soaked with some sort of essential oil or something.
What the fuck?
What?
Where every girl over the age of 25 should have a good Kiwi in the house.
Oh, well, I have them. I didn't get them at the spa day.
Well, that's not. I mean, come on. What kind of place is this?
Vera's not into Greek salad, Jeff.
All right.
I was gonna have to like really aim those jokes straight down the barrel today, aren't I? You're all blessed because my voice is giving out. So happy days for everyone, really.
Sorry, kids. Tonight we're only doing a 30-minute show because we can't talk and there's only 3 of us. So we bail out early.
Jeff, you can have your show back again. I'm taking it.
So, okay, I might have to buy a new car, and I'm really upset about having a car payment, but I'm not upset about having things. And then I can't really find the sheets. I keep ordering them and giving them away to the neighbors. I don't know what to talk about.
What are you giving away to the neighbors?
Sheets. I keep ordering sheets from Amazon because I keep reading all these reviews. These are awesome. They're expensive. They're great. They're 1,000 thread count, and they come and they're like freaking like sandpaper. I open them up, feel them, and I'm like, absolutely not. And I go diddling around the neighborhood and give them away to the neighbors because I can't be bothered. I'm not the one. I'm not doing shitty sheets, okay? I need my expensive.
You know, Amazon does return them for free.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not even bothered. Like, I was so pissed off. Like, I sent back 2 sets, and I think I've done about 6 sets now. And I'm just like, oh, my God, you've got to be kidding me. So I don't trust the Amazon reviews no more. Either that or it's real poor people from, like, Walmart. Because I wrote that one review, and I shared with everybody.
I stand by Marshalls for sheets.
Oh. And this is what the show's turned into. Sheet review with Jeff and Vera.
Spelling. Girl, I need you to call me and give me some good advice on sheets because I know your mother knew. Maybe I'll just ask Candy.
Ask Candy. I feel like that's a very...
She's still alive?
Yeah. We're Instagram friends. I love her. She's actually pretty funny.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Girl,
Candy.
Cash.
Yes. No, we have had a very busy couple of days this week with show stuff, haven't we?
It's
you
very
guys
tense.
have. I have not.
We have. So, Luke, Katie,
like dying.
I know, right? Luke, Katie, and I introduced a brand new co-host, Levitt, to the Uncensored Horror. We did a bit of a double feature for Mother's Day, which was Friday the 13th and Friday the 13th Part 2, which was super fun. Jeff, Katrina, and I dropped another episode of What Happened Was, which detailed our shady teen years, which now has to have a Part 2 because just like Beverly Hills 90210, we've got to go to college, or Jeff's just got to suck a lot of college dick. Either way.
Married, honey. Married. Here's
Uh,
the thing. That episode popped on Twitter. Like, the views, it's like, I can't believe it. It's crazy.
look, we're
So,
talking
hey,
about
Twitter.
drunk teenagers. Yeah, hey, Twitter. I don't know. Who knew we blew up on Twitter? But you also you guys recorded some stuff with Katie Underwood as well,
We
right?
did.
Did we?
Yeah,
Yes,
we did the little
earlier
parenting
last week, Monday.
issue.
It's all
So we've
blurring into one.
And
We've got some
self-care.
we got some real talk roundtable stuff coming up too. So
Yeah.
there's plenty of new and different stuff coming up on the UCR channel this month. Oh, next 2 months, I think we're good. And there's plenty of other stuff boiling under. Boiling.
Yeah, and you can just
Boiling.
go to Blog Talk and check out old episodes with Power Ranger, me, of course, Katrina A. Johnson from Nickelodeon's All That, who was recently featured on TMZ. There's also
Yeah.
episodes with Vera, myself, and this drag queen.
And
Lots of fun stuff. Yeah.
look, it goes all the way up to the present day. Even my beautiful voice is on there now. So
Yep.
Blog Talk, if you want to just listen to us, you don't want to look at our beautiful faces, but I don't know why
guess
you
we
wouldn't.
won't be singing show tunes tonight.
Old Man River. That's all I got. Top register's always the first thing to go. Always the first thing to go.
I actually worked with this woman. We were doing Sound of Music, and her top register was the only thing that stayed. She could hit that high A. She was playing Mother Superior, but she couldn't hit anything below a G.
Voices are a funny thing.
They are.
I don't
Voices are
know
funny.
what that means.
All
I mean, Grandma was a singer, but I chose
right, let's talk about something Jeff knows about then, hey?
I don't know
This
much.
week's
Hot load of hot topics.
I'm sorry, I was looking down.
looking down there's a hot load of hot topics. So there's lots to discuss this week, kids. So we're going to be busy little beavers, all three of us.
Mhm.
My voice will try and hang in there.
I'll
there's
try
some
to
stuff
talk
I'm-
extra for you.
Yeah, there's some stuff in here that I'm not 100% sure on. But let's take it back to Mother's Day to start with. We got a very charming, heartwarming advertisement from the NRA.
Oh, God.
Mama didn't raise no victim, says the poster of a mother and a girl who looks like Jojo Siwa holding assault rifles, as you do. The message reads, Happy Mother's Day to all NRA moms. On top of millions of other jobs moms have, NRA moms fight for our right to self-defense while also defending themselves, their families, and communities. We are forever grateful for these women. Oh dear.
It sounds not so hot, right? Like, it's kind of like throwing victims under the bus just a tad. And it's just kind of promoting violence, right? I mean,
yeah.
in reality, trust me, I don't really give a fuck, but I'm just taking the opinion because I'm supposed to on the show. You know what I'm saying, folks? So just go with me. I'm saying,
just creating the conversation like we want him
it's
to.
just bullshit. How could they? How dare they? Those sons of bitches. There.
Where do these people fucking live?
South
Where
Carolina.
do they fucking live?
Can't get no
Where
gas.
Is there that much crime? Where? Nowhere. Unless you
Chicago?
No. You can walk down the streets of Chicago without an AR-15 and not get killed. Where is there this much crime? Why do these people live in this kind of fear? What are they talking about? I don't
Republicans.
understand. Well, yes.
Look, I don't feel
well,
like I need to carry a gun around everywhere I go, but I think the whole world's just gone nuts.
Definitely.
I've been in Harlem. I've been in
What the fuck?
Chicago. I've been all over the freaking world. I've ridden the subway in foreign countries where I didn't speak the language. I've never been that afraid that I needed to arm a 6-year-old.
I don't think we need to arm 6-year-olds. I don't think we need to arm.
Arm everyone, I say. Actually, I do want to put up. This is why I'm a little bit silent. I'm just trying to find a nice reply that we got from one of our viewers, and I was like, "Work." That's exactly what it is, and I'm going to get Vera to read it because she can read. No, not that you can't,
Jeffrey
Jeff.
can read.
She can speak. Sorry,
Fuck
that came off.
this. While she's reading, I'm gonna go make myself a cocktail.
All right. So this is from Ted Johnson. So Ted, if you're out there, you've made the show. He posted this.
The gun lobby's interpretation of the Second Amendment is one of the greatest pieces of fraud. I repeat the word fraud on the American people by special interest groups that I have ever seen in my lifetime. The real purpose of the Second Amendment was to ensure that the state armies, the militia, would be maintained for the defense of the state. The very language of the Second Amendment refutes any argument that it was intended to guarantee every citizen an unfettered right to any kind of weapon he or she desires. Conservative Supreme Court Chief Justice Warren Burger. Agreed. This is before the Republicans
He's not wrong.
lost their damn minds.
Not wrong, right?
I can't get over. There's two different Americas. There's two different Americas. Jeff, you don't even know what I'm saying.
Yeah, two different Americas.
There's one where they're living in constant threat, and then there's the one where the rest of us live. Where are these people? Are they being attacked by bears? Why do they need to arm themselves like they're at war? I mean, you can have a political disagreement and not need to shoot someone with an AR-15. I don't understand it. It's alien to everything I was taught that this country stands for.
You know my stance on this. Mental health crisis.
But
Crazy.
Is that mother with an AR-15 mentally ill, Jeffrey?
Maybe. Maybe. Like you're posing for NRA ad on Mother's Day with your little kid holding an automatic assault rifle. You might be fucked up in the head.
Well, I know I've said this to you before, but I do think that argument, well, not without merit. Nobody who shoots up a bunch of people is mentally well.
That's what I'm saying.
But it stigmatizes the majority of people who just suffer through mental illness on a day-to-day basis without shooting up a grocery store.
I've got depression. I've got anxiety. I'm sure I'm probably borderline personality disorder or some one of those fun things they got going on. But I'm not shooting shit up because there's still a level of sanity in me. Like I'm talking about mental health being so fucked up that your option was to go shoot up a school. Like that's a level of mental health. I'm not talking about everyday mental health crisis.
But that's also like more likely a psychotic break. That's not somebody who's having mental health problems that could be addressed on a day-to-day basis. That's somebody who snaps at 11:30 in the morning and is full-fledged crazy by 3 p.m.
Right, but I also think if you go and look, there's probably a long line of shit to go follow behind that there was signs leading up that they were cracking. I'm not saying the average person is that crazy that has mental health issues, but I'm saying we don't have insurance in America. We don't have the mental health care that we should for people. Like, no, I think that's the first conversation.
And it's so highly stigmatized by the NRA trotting out this argument anytime some wacko shoots up a school, rather than saying, yes, no one should have an AR-15 in the civilian population. They say, oh, it's not us, it's mental health. Guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Well, I mean, it's true.
Cars don't kill people, but you still have to have insurance and license and training.
This is exactly it. A knife doesn't kill people. A hammer doesn't kill a person. There's got to be someone with intention behind it. You know what I mean?
Right, and I think, like you had said, like we should have insurance on guns. I think that's a great idea.
I think
it holds some accountability.
On guns, the insurance company would make sure that these people were not. Bullets would cost $100 a piece.
And again, I'm all for background checks and better background checks and holding guns, while we go through those background checks.
70% of America is for background checks.
But I just think there's a bigger issue that's not being addressed, that we blame guns when it's really, we have a huge fundamental crisis in this country that's not being dealt
I'm not
at.
disagreeing that we have a mental health crisis in this country, but access to guns makes it lethal.
Right, but then even just look at people that are committing suicide or they're driving their car through crowds of people in New York City or wherever the hell that just happened again. I mean, there's always something because we're not addressing the mental health of this country. People are fucking crazy because of all the shit they're going through.
I think they're crazy because they're getting their news from the internet. They're undereducated and over inundated with fake news. They can't critically think. So they become completely convinced that there's a whole cabal of people having cannibalistic pedophile meetings in pizza parlors. Come on.
Let me just tell you,
crazy.
I don't care if the cream that they were talking about that all the celebrities were wearing had like aborted stem cell babies in it or whatever it was. Bitch, I'd be smothering that shit all over myself on a nightly basis. And be like, thank you, babies. I don't care.
That's it.
There's no... Oh, go ahead. Move on.
Oh, there's more for you to get upset about later.
Okay. I was so relaxed.
I know, and then you came on the show.
You're welcome. I know it's
Speaking of
I was glowy and massaged.
possible mental illness, aliens, etc., etc. Demi Lovato
oh god,
will be hosting a 4-part documentary series called Unidentified with Demi Lovato, which will see the singer, her skeptical best friend Matthew, and her sister Dallas attempt to help uncover the truth about the UFO phenomenon. While consulting with leading experts, the trio will investigate recent eyewitness encounters, uncover secret government reports, and conduct tests at known UFO hotspots. A podcast called 4D with Demi also launches on the 19th of May.
I if it wasn't her, I'd be like, okay, cool, a celebrity wants to get into this. But it just seems like she's reaching a little bit.
I gotta tell you, I find this less crazy than the 6-year-old with the AR-15. In an infinite universe with an infinite God, don't you think it's ridiculous to assume that we are the only life form in this infinite universe?
Oh yeah,
God, come on.
Oh, look, I definitely agree, but it would be more impressive if Kesha hadn't already started a podcast like 6 months ago doing the same thing. It's like Demi's always late to the party and just tone deaf on everything.
Maybe she is reaching. Maybe that's part of her mental health.
California sober, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I'm an addict, but I can smoke pot and drink. It's okay. Everything's okay.
If I had to go to rehab, I'd want to go to that one.
I know, right? It's okay. I'll just have crack. Straight up crack. But speaking of someone else who
Crack
is... All right, Whitney. I sound like Whitney. Remember that? Oh my God, remember that Michael Jackson thing where they had to airbrush it in her collarbone?
Oh, that was so bad. Yeah,
that's what I sound like today.
She was Diane sort
Too
of
hard to get
showing
over.
her pictures. And she was like, I don't know, Diane. What is it? Like,
Yeah.
she was so
She was going to
mad.
fuck her up, right?
Yeah, she would. She'd have put a razor blade out her titties and cut her.
Yeah. Speaking of allegedly threatening TV hosts, Ellen is exiting daytime after 19 seasons. After a year of steeply declining ratings in the aftermath of the toxic workplace allegations leveled at both the show and the host DeGeneres, they have announced the upcoming 19th season in 2022 will be the show's swan song. Insisting it was her plan all along to exit the format, the talk show host comedian will sit down with Oprah to detail her decision to end the previously hugely successful show.
Bye!
People just don't care anymore. I mean, she
nobody
barely
does care.
hosts that show.
But
Every time I see it,
not
it's a guest host. Like,
not that I care. I mean, I don't get to see it. I work every day. I see Ellen 6 times a year, maybe, but
it's the same
does it
shit.
need to be news? Does it really need to be news? But,
Oh, here's
But
the thing,
she's
though.
still-
When she re-upped that contract for the 3 years, all the reports then was that was it. She was done after these 3 years. And she wasn't going to. So I'm like, why is this? Like, we already knew.
it's only news because of what's happened.
well,
If the ratings were
tanked.
still strong, she probably would have signed on for another 2 years or something like
I
that.
don't think so.
I'm sure she's got points on that show. Any money that's raised through ad revenue,
$80 million a year. That was
in
the
her
report.
pocket. Once the revenue dropped, it's probably not worth her effort to do it.
And she's still taking the stance that the workplace stuff wasn't that bad. And da 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 da.
She's
Yeah.
so
Did you
motherfucking rich.
see-
Her wife bought her a gorilla preserve. How much motherfucking money does she need?
Well, she said she'd like to have some Oprah money. There was an interview she did. It was there was an extended one with what's the chick's name from the Today Show that replaced Savannah Guthrie. Is that her name? Savannah.
There is
Oh, yes.
Savannah Guthrie, yes.
Yeah, so her. So they did this interview or whatever, and Alan said in the interview that she felt like this was too well coordinated, and it seemed like an attack on her because it was like bad shit in the media about her and then about the show. So to me, I'm watching this and I'm like, bitch, you're in denial. Like, you had 250 employees. I'm sorry you couldn't take the time to go introduce yourself to each one of them. They couldn't look at you while you were walking down the hallway. None of this shit is new. Like, this shit's been around for years since the show started. That you're a bitch. Like, you should have known.
There were that kind of allegations against Johnny Carson. There were that kind of allegations against Rosie
She said,
O'Donnell.
too, that it was sexist. Yeah, of course.
There are that kind of allegations against all these famous people who look to the famous people to be their moral compass. Come on.
Ellen.
Well,
People that wear red hats.
She's like, people were working in different buildings. Like, I don't, unless I stayed here till the last person left at night. Well, it's your name. Maybe you should take some fucking responsibility for this
when
shit.
It's your name on the show.
Like, I get it. 250 people's a fucking lot, but take some goddamn responsibility and stop blaming.
We have trouble managing about 8. So whatever.
As there's only 3 of us on the show tonight.
But I think America, they've just lost interest. Her shtick is old. Like, the show hasn't changed. The show hasn't adapted or changed because she's America's safe dancing lesbian. Yay! She's not threatening to anyone. Like, she's not pushing an agenda.
I do think having the title, Queen, kindness or whatever the hell, it's a tough one because like Rosie O'Donnell had the Queen of Nice title. She didn't ask for that. She didn't want it. She never pretended to be, and then the reports came out
Ellen
afterwards.
does say, "Be kind" at the end of every show. That's
right.
kind of her take.
But then Rosie wasn't also attacking guests and being passive. No, but on the talk show when she was the Queen of Nice.
Oh,
yes,
no,
she did.
She had a few moments. I agree with
but
you.
Ellen, but what you said was that she never claimed to be. Ellen claims to be, but does everything passive aggressively. And you watch interviews and some people just
well, I think that's.
Well, how about all the fucking shows where she makes her poor terrified producer go into haunted houses and do things?
That's just funny.
Well,
it is funny, but it's not nice to him.
The thing
that is a victim
really sealed the deal with her for me was when Joan Rivers died. She couldn't be bothered to say anything because she's like, she was mean. I'm like, all the reports about you personally and what's going on with your wife and people from inside the Hollywood circle, she's not that nice of a person.
Yeah, Joan's comedy might have been biting and mean, but in real life, Joan was a saint. Like, she gave money and her time and
her brand
charity.
of comedy was you need to be able to laugh at yourself. And she was the first. She
Point
would
of
attack.
comedy.
She was the first one to laugh at herself.
She would
absolutely.
attack herself. All of
Yes.
her early stand-up, it was all self-deprecating. So I'm sorry that maybe you don't have the mental capacity to understand that kind of humor. You know, I mean, I've never cared for Ellen's type of humor. Like, oh my God, I'll never forget when on her sitcom when they, the first gay kiss or whatever.
Yeah.
My grandmother, the singer, loved gay guys, was not a fan of lesbians. She called me up, and now she didn't say it because she didn't know, but she'd always call her Ellen degenerate or whatever. She's like, I'll tell you what, guys kissing guys, I'm fine with that, but women kissing women, what the fuck kind of shit is this? That's bullshit. Hated the bitch. Hated Ellen for years. And then she had a talk show. My grandmother loved her. I was like, I thought you didn't like her because it was women kissing women.
See, she ingratiated herself.
Has stopped pointing Ellen's way. You know, somebody else will move into her spot. And then
Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson's pretty good. I actually saw her show this week.
Telepictures and Warner Brothers are actually not even trying to like save their time slot. They're like, bye.
No,
it's because
Kelly's getting that time slot for sure.
TV is just not where it's at anymore. Like they know
it's
not where it's at.
I mean,
podcasting is the future.
You can't have a daytime syndicated show anymore. Like it's going to make a shit ton of money. It's just not going to happen.
All right. Well, speaking about comedy, I don't know if you guys have seen this or know much about it. Drag Race Down. No, that's okay. I can do it. When I Drag Race Down Under has been dragged for Chamberlain portrayal. Snatch Game is usually the make or break moment for any season of Drag Race, but Aussie Queen, etc., is facing social media blowback for her characterization of falsely accused murderer Lindy Chamberlain, complete with dingo hand puppet and dog-chewed answer card. Was the performance in poor taste or just a satirical take on the media-created character of Lindsay? Have you guys seen it?
I saw Luke's review of it.
It was.
But that is funny.
It was.
Dingo ate my baby.
Pretty brilliant. I've got to say, it was pretty brilliant. I can't play the clip, but it's if you haven't seen it, you can. There's like a little YouTube clip. The first answer was just a chewed up card. She was like, "I didn't go ate my answer. I didn't go ate my answer." And I was like, and you can see Reese Nicholson, who's the Australian comedian, is just like going, "Oh my God." Like the second time she's like, I stepped away for a second to heat up some baked beans by the fire. And then I looked back and a dingo had my baby. And she's got a torch wandering around. Like she looked nothing like Lindy Chamberlain.
Did they ever find the remains of the baby?
Not complete remains, no. Actually, there's been a whole big thing like in the last 12 months about the Northern Territory government's corruption and Lindy's false imprisonment, and that she should have never actually gone to jail in the first place. So
that's what Meryl Streep said.
Yeah, but the argument that even on our page we've seen that this is a real person and a real baby died and da 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 da. Yeah, that's fine. But what this drag queen is doing is not saying, I am Lindy Chamberlain. The dingo ate my baby, the dingo ate my baby, the dingo ate my baby is what we've been fed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the whole world has been fed. That's what you know about Australia, right?
I didn't even know it was real.
More facts than that.
I thought this was all about like a line from Seinfeld or something. No. I had no idea that it was real.
You've never seen Evil Angels, Jeff? Oh my God.
I was drinking hard in the early 2000s. I was a club kid. I wasn't paying attention to the news.
Jeff, this is the 80s, mate.
Yeah, I was.
I was a baby. I was watching Punky Brewster. I ain't know nothing about no bitch with no dingo.
Dingo ate my baby.
Yeah. I knew from whatever show they used to do that. The dingo ate your baby. That's it. That's all I knew. I thought it was a line from a show.
Did a dingo eat your baby?
It was said by Meryl Streep. She played Lindy.
Yeah, she did really well. But yeah, I think the same thing. She looks nothing like Lindy. like it's a satirical look at the character that the media, because the media hung her out to dry here in Australia. She was they said that they sacrificed the child in the desert for cult purposes, and they blamed the children and they blamed the husband, and they said that they murdered her and slit her throat while she was alive, and da 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 da. When more and more and more and more facts are coming out that it was a dingo, like.
A dingo
Even-
ate the baby.
Shut up! A dingo straight stole and ate the baby.
Like
Yes.
How old was this baby?
An
a couple of
infant.
months
It was
old.
like,
Couple of months
an
old,
infant.
like a baby.
And did anybody see said dingo?
She
The
saw
mom
it.
saw the
She
dingo.
saw it leave. She saw it leave the tent with something in its mouth. Yeah, Jeff, you might need to go do some research
I am
this week.
so listen. I'm gonna get all obsessed about this and just go
I
down
can
a
tell.
rabbit hole and be like,
There's been a few documentaries, and a lot of it it had to do with Australia's political climate at the time as well, and just bigotry and racism. They went to the Aboriginal elders, trackers, and stuff like that, and they're like, "Yep, these are the drag marks. This is a dingo. This is a dingo dragging something. Stopped here to rest. Picked it up again. Walked onwards." But because they were Aboriginals, and it was the late 70s, early 80s, like this whole thing played out, their testimony was disregarded because, hello, what would they know?
Mm-hmm.
They've only been here for thousands of years, but rock on.
Well, I can't wait for this show to end. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
It
All
was
right.
a very nice movie with Meryl Streep.
Moving on.
I'm gonna
Something
be
else that's a little bit upsetting.
Oh.
Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam will no longer carry a gun in the new HBO Max Looney Tunes cartoon series. There is still plenty of cartoon violence, executive producer Peter Braungart said reassuringly, acknowledging the whole thing is based on conflict. So there's dynamite and explosions, while Elmer's shotgun has been replaced with a scythe.
He was going.
Elmer's a fucking hunter.
All right,
He's
he's
a
going.
hunting. He's
hunting for
rabbits. Why
weapons.
would you give him a scythe? That's so much more violent.
He's like, I'm the Grim Reaper.
I'm hunting.
I want your soul forever.
I can't, man. I just, you know what? We all grew up on crazy ass shit. Our parents didn't monitor what we were watching because home videos just came out. We're all fine. I mean, except for the crazy people that go shooting up places. But that's another story. But the majority of us are fine. So why a hunter can't have a gun because he's going hunting rabbits?
Why is it so important to disarm a cartoon, but it's not important to disarm the average American?
You're turning it
Right.
into a big deal by
Right.
changing it. Just don't fucking remake it then.
Or just don't have him holding a gun and don't mention it.
Said hunters should have guns. Why would we take a gun away from a hunter?
I don't think of a gun when I think of Elmer Fudd. I think of like, the creeping, and the duck.
But the
duck
creeping is
season
the
web.
hunter's stance. Is they track.
Yeah, but I don't automatically think gun either. Like it's like, gun violence, gun.
So are they
Like,
gonna edit that scene out of Roger Rabbit where what's his fuck, the little redheaded devil dude? Boom, 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 boom. Like, come on. Like, I'm so over this shit. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yes. Oh, hold on. Speaking of ridiculous,
Oh my god!
My favorite thing ever. Did you guys see the video of the chick? The dude's in the car and he's losing his mind. So this, right, what we've got on the screen right now, please, folks, no gas and trash bags. Promise it won't end well. So there's a picture of like a Benz with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 or 8 garbage bags filled with gasoline. Which apparently these people missed the memo of what gas does to plastic. Number one,
because gas and plastic are made from petroleum.
right? So this bitch is at the gas station. She's got like on a fast food kind of outfit, and she's filling a grocery bag filled with gas. Have y'all ever put liquid in a grocery bag? It's just pouring out the bottom. So she sets it down nonchalantly, like she didn't just spend $20.
This is the failure of the American
And she
education
goes
system.
and gets another grocery bag out of her car and double bags it and then puts it in the trunk. You know what? Here's my thing. Survival of the fittest. Maybe we need to clear out the gene pool a little bit here, kids. COVID's
Well,
not a
that's
bad
kind
thing.
of, you know, and as a nurse, I probably shouldn't say this, but if you are too dumb to understand the science behind vaccination, then maybe it's survival of the fittest. Maybe Darwin needs to take you.
In the words of Vera, trust the motherfucking science!
Please.
All right. Speaking of trusting evidence. Oh, is it coming up? StreamYard. StreamYard.
I'll just be here in the middle.
There we go.
Josh Duggar.
Creepy fuck.
Oh,
Over 200 lewd images of children under the age of 12 on his laptop. The images showed nude underage minors and child sex abuse material. In their attempt to defend Duggar, his lawyers claimed that the Department of Homeland Security can't prove that Duggar was actually looking at the images. Charges involving such crimes involve possession of the abusive images. Prosecutors don't need to prove Duggar was doing anything with the images. Duggar is
It's
accused of
illegal to
molesting
just
young
have
girls, some of whom were his sisters in early 2002. That was when TLC cancelled the conservative and evangelicals families television show.
It's illegal just to own those images.
That whole
Just having
family.
them on his computer is a crime. Period. He doesn't even have to have ever opened the file. It's illegal to own them.
And his parents, like, he molested your daughters. We're just gonna pray.
Oh, you know,
Pray away.
me and
I
Jesus.
I can't. And then to find out that those folks and him, it's like 20 minutes away or an hour away. I'm like, too close, too close.
Yeah. I told you were living down there.
Ding, 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 ding.
Dang, you were in banjo country, honey. They married their cousins. At big
That happens
weddings.
in Auburn. Listen, did I ever tell you about the time? So my cousin and I are sitting on the front porch. Steve's like, this bitch, he's going to go off on one. So we're sitting on the front porch, and I look at my cousin. I go, you know, like, I know all my great-grandmother's maiden names, but I don't remember our grandmother, like the one we shared. Our great-grandmother's maiden name. She stops, kind of does, you know, the look around. She goes, Toomey, which happened to be her married last name. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, excuse me? She goes, yeah, her and grandpa were cousins. I'm like,
Oh, her brother cousin.
yeah, so I called my mother up. I'm like, is there something you fucking failed to tell me? And I didn't preface it with anything. And she's like, what are you talking about? You know, I'm like, maybe something about dad's family. She's like, well, they're all fucking weird. What do you want? I'm like, I don't know, the fact that they were fucking cousins. And she's like, she
Literally fucking cousins.
yeah, she starts laughing. And she's like, well, they were like second cousins or whatever. I'm like, that doesn't make it any better. Do you know how much that explains about your husband, bitch?
If your family tree has one branch, you may be a redneck.
And this is why I was not passing on my genetics and thought adoption was the way to go.
Well, adoption is a genetic lottery too, honey.
Oh, listen,
Yeah, but
I
look-
got the fucking trifecta over here, but I love it.
Sometimes you can't even trust your own damn family.
Oh, I know. This
Oh,
breaks my
This
heart.
poor kid in
Horrible.
Iran, 20 years old, was allegedly killed in an honor killing by some of his male family members after they found out he was gay, according to LGBTQ rights group in Iran and Turkey. He'd already had himself exempt from mandatory military service by being forcibly declared mentally ill and was in the process of leaving Iran when he was taken to a rural area by half-brother and cousins and beheaded. The killers then allegedly called his mother and told her where to find her only son's beheaded body.
That's just horrific.
I read that and I struggled reading it. And I'm like, see, people can say whatever about gay folks, but this is still happening around the world. It's a regular
absolutely. There
thing.
was a very famous pop singer in Russia who was thrown off a building.
Oh, the
you
one
know?
that they couldn't find forever and they just didn't know what happened to him?
Yeah. You know, I mean, this is happening around, and gay bashing's still happening in this country.
Right.
Come on. It's.
But then we got
it's-
people like Josh Duggar who gets a TV show with his family and they get to keep on keeping. And
Keep
they're
on
gonna
keeping
do
on.
like they knew this shit was coming. They knew that he was about to get taken down for this, and they did an announcement about their new pregnancy.
And these allegations have been around forever. They were talking about the fact that he was molesting his sisters 20 years ago.
Like, you want to talk about mental health, bitch? His wife fucking needs to go get a CAT scan.
What if they find there's no brain there?
Just a lot of bleach.
Then let's put her out to pasture. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's send her to a fucking island. Along with these people that keep just killing the gay. Like, how do you behead your brother?
I know.
Because he likes dick.
And it's an honor killing. That's the part that it's really. It's
Yeah,
an
we're gonna.
for the
Well, maybe
honor
we'll
of your family.
maybe we'll move on to our main topic there because we're going to talk about it. So we're going to move on to a segment that I like to call The View from Here. Ooh, I love it.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
I'm so excited. I sound like Joan. Help me, my daughter's not talented.
Vera, come on. The rest of the show, or I'm gonna just, hey, it's okay.
All right.
I could talk like I have a head cold.
The reason for this week's topic comes from this story, which, Vera, I'm sure you're going to want to read, so go for it.
Donald Trump blames Joe Biden's weakness for escalating violence in Jerusalem. The former U.S. president said, "When I was in office, we were known as the peace presidency because Israel's adversaries knew that the United States stood strongly with Israel and there would be swift retribution if Israel was attacked. Under Biden, the world is getting more violent and more unstable because Biden's weakness and lack of support for Israel is leading to new attacks on our allies. America must always stand with Israel and make clear the Palestinians must end the violence, terror, and rocket attacks and make clear that the U.S. will always strongly support Israel's right to defend itself. How quickly we forget presidentially incited and encouraged insurrection, widespread racial-based violence, and 500,000 American deaths from a virus you said would simply go away. Hey, Donnie?
Now, here we go. I wrote that article. And I was merely trying we obviously do talk politics on this show. The first reply to that article called me, because I guess they were talking to the author, an idiot for comparing a virus to a holy war.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Here's my question.
Syria?
Why is religion still a justification for violence in the modern day?
I know. Why is it?
Ask the Catholics.
Can we stop with the poor beleaguered Israelis? They have the Palestinians slapped into a 200 square foot minuscule little postage stamp encampment that is by any definition a ghetto. And they're the aggressors 9 times out of 10. One slap back from a Palestinian and it's suddenly the Palestinian monsters. It's like Israel is the monster at this point. Israel is completely subjugating these people and making them foreign citizens in their own homeland. It is beyond ridiculous. And Trump needs to back the fuck out of politics. He just can't shut his gob hole. He needs so much attention that he's willing to put gasoline on any fucking fire.
Jeffrey, anything to add to that?
I just think he doesn't have shit to say because, like, what he did in Syria. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, he's the peace president. He's the peace president.
He's not peace nothing. He caused more bullshit. Like, oh God, I just can't. You know what?
Let us not forget that he was still president while America was still in Iraq and Iran, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's just starting to pull out. So he wasn't a peace president. You were still at war.
And he only pulled them out of Syria because he was pissed off.
Right.
Like, it had nothing to do with peace.
And it left the Syrian people to genocide.
Right.
people that had fought beside us in the region and were our allies.
Just
Left them
deuces.
to be killed and slaughtered and starved. But he's the peace president, and there's
Look,
young,
I'm gonna-
headed assholes out there who believe him.
If
I'm
he's
gonna-
the peace president, I'm just bloated.
I'm gonna
Me
say
too, Jeffrey.
I'm gonna make a probably a little bit of a controversial statement, but it is uncensored radio. I'm gonna try and word it nicely, but one person's religion is another person's storybook, right?
Oh,
Yeah, God,
What?
yes.
Where's the
In a
controversial
world
part?
today where you can look at a virus under a slide and see the effects that virus has on a human body, and you can look around and see in the whole fucking world that there are hundreds of thousands of millions of people dying. Look at fucking India. I don't know that religion is a justification for anything. That is your personal belief. Correct. Yes, amazing. I am happy for you to have it. But it does not give you
The right.
the right or a warrant to be violent.
Yeah.
Should-
Freedom
is-
of religion means freedom to worship as you choose, not freedom to instill your beliefs on anybody else. You can believe in the magic book of fairy tales if you want to. You can believe in Tinkerbell if you want to. You can believe in UFOs if you want to. But you can't come to my house and tell me I have to believe exactly as you believe. And because you believe this way, I can't marry who I want. I can't live the way I want. I can't work where I want.
Or I
It's
can
just-
kill you. I can
Or I
kill
can
you because
kill
you don't believe the
right,
same
or
thing
I
as
can
me.
imprison you, or I can suppress your vote.
Well, isn't
Like,
Sooner or
have we-
later.
Have we not learned? This is the thing. Everyone's so hung up on these. Again, sorry, books of fiction, folks. Books of fiction. Then you don't look at the history. Like you don't
Yeah.
look back at the history and go, "Well, this is real. This really happened." Like you can deny the Holocaust all you like, but those bodies are in the ground. Go dig them up.
There's
like,
footage. There's
There's
pictures.
footage.
If
Like it's not
there
like
is
the most
photographic
well-made movie in the
evidence,
world.
there are
Look
still
at
people alive
the
who
killing
saw it.
fields. Look at all of this stuff. Look at Israel. Like Israel is a bigger conversation than what we can have on this show. But the justification for the violence just because of the religion doesn't make sense to me in a modern world.
No, I agree.
In a modern world, it doesn't make sense.
Nope.
Well, I mean, that's the same thing. Look at the suicide bombers on 9/11. Like, to actually, again, now we got another mental health problem. If you're that far down any rabbit hole, whether it be religion, Scientology, whatever,
Jeffrey,
it's extremism. It's crazy.
Yeah. You don't think that the January 6th insurrectionists were in a rabbit hole?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I mean, just reading their stories after the fact and them saying like they believed what came out of Fox News. They believed what Donald Trump was saying. They thought that this is what he was telling them to do. And then he, or even when it first happened, they were all so sure and they were touting shit like
This is the thing.
Donald
They
got our
happened.
back.
They happened for someone on our face, like for someone to comment about a holy war over the fact of shit that actually happened in your country this year that was documented that people saw blows my fucking mind. I'm like, you can't pick and choose
It's simple.
what news you want to hear.
That's
You
what
can't.
they do. That's religious people. They pick and choose everything. The Bible. It's all about picking, choosing. Oh, gays can't get married, but it's okay if we get divorced. Like that one crazy
Gays
bitch.
can't get
Where
married,
was she
but
from?
we can eat shellfish.
She looked
we
like the
can eat-
mom from fucking the Duggars thing. That one
Yeah.
bitch. Vera, who is she? You remember her name? She was like, I'm not signing gay marriage certificates. How many fucking marriage certificates did she
the
survive
one in Kentucky or Tennessee
yeah,
or wherever.
of
it was.
divorced people? Bitch,
Yeah, she was
fuck
third
you.
marriage.
You're fuck that shit. I can't handle it because you're
And it's
just
not even that. Like, you look at Bible scholars today, there wasn't they freely admit there was no word for homosexuality when the Bible was written.
Right.
everybody was fucking everybody back then. Read a book.
It translates to not, I think, and this, I could be completely wrong, and please correct me if I am. It translates to something about not sleeping with direct family, like, or something like it has nothing to do with male, female stuff. That was put in there later on. You know what I mean? Not from the
Because it
original
was
text.
written by dudes who had prejudices. Or maybe their gay
Yes.
lover jilted them, so they decided,
Right.
won't this be fun?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So look, and as I said, if you want to take religion as a system of values on how you want to live your life and how you exist in the world, that's fine. I'm all for it. Go for it. But it does not justify violence against other people because they don't agree
Mm-hmm.
at all. Like,
Yeah.
it blows my mind.
Ever.
Ever. But do you know what doesn't blow my mind and makes me a little bit happy? The Muppets are coming to Halloween. Yay! Muppets Haunted Mansion is going to be a Disney Plus original film, I believe filmed on site at Disney World. So Disneyland, starring Pepe and I love Pepe the Prawn so much. Pepe and Gonzo, whole heap of guest stars. So it's going to be an old school Muppet thing, which is super cool. I know your kids aren't feeling the Muppets, Jeff, but you do.
It agitates the shit out of me. But Pepe, I'm not like, give me the rats back. Like, stop bringing in new Muppets. I'm over
I am a shrimp. I am a king prawn. He's amazing.
Like, he kind of, that one they did with What's Her Touch there, and they went to Oz with Ashanti, man, that I was like, oh, I can't get down with this shit no more.
Yeah, that was when they were having a slight dip. I believe that was when they were not Disney anymore. Didn't they pull away for a minute and then they came back up? They did a lot of home direct. Yeah. This looks good though because it's got the Haunted Mansion story. It's got a whole heap of Muppet guests, celebrity guests. So it's going to be like the old Muppet movies where you just see.
Yeah, but they even tried like
Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers.
Yeah, when she was there with Miss Piggy in Manhattan.
And you get a powder puff. And I get a powder puff. They both get fired. Muppet Sang Manhattan, that one, wasn't it? I think it was.
Yep.
Liza Minnelli was in there.
Yes.
Lots of good people.
Love Liza.
Big Bird was in it.
Yeah. I saw Liza live in early 2000s. She came to Australia and performed at the Opera House. I was like, this is going to be fucking legendary. She performed, and she would have been like 60-something then. She performed for over 2.5 hours, non-stop, went off stage, came back on, did an encore, went off stage again, and just came back like in her dressing gown. And she's like, I don't know what else you want me to do. She's like, and she just sat there and talked. It was one of the best, like, old school celebrity shows I've seen. Like,
was that before she had the stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God love Liza. I love Liza. I do love a bit of Liza.
Sex in the City 2, that single girls performance, it was rough.
All the single ladies.
I thought for her arthritis and her hip dysplasia, she did a kick-ass job at that.
Have you ever, speaking of funny, have you ever seen the SNL sketch Liza Minnelli turns off a lamp?
No.
Did she just throw it on the ground?
It's Kristen Wiig as Liza Minnelli. Hilarious. And then she does another one called Anne Margaret throws away a piece of paper. She's like, Kristen Wiig's amazing. Oh, you need to.
But he does Liza better than Mario Cantone.
Oh, Mario
I'll show you off. I'll show you off air. I'll send you a link. You'll be like, this bitch is insane. It's so funny. But let's talk about this very quickly because Vera, I know the award seasons like make your heart a little bit happy. But no Golden Globes. Do you want to read?
Sure. NBC has officially refused to air this year's Golden Globes in the latest drama to befall the Hollywood foreign press. HFPA has been besieged by scandal in recent months for its lack of representation behind the scenes. Of the organization's 87 members, not a single one is Black. Last week, the group announced plans to reform its bylaws in an effort to bring diversity to its membership. But many in the industry found the proposed changes unsatisfactory. Tom Cruise has gone as far as returning his 3 awards, with other celebrities joining in the criticisms in hopes of ushering in quick, effective, and long-lasting change. Cancel!
They
Right.
basically were going to take like 18 months to implement some changes, which weren't much. It's crazy. Bye.
It's not good
Bye.
enough, though, is it?
But
Like in this modern world, it's not good enough.
it's not.
And
Well, especially when you think about the representation on screen.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, it's an
This
award
was-
show for white people by white people.
Well, yes.
but this is what I'm saying. For those, let's be honest, Tom Cruise, that's what his career is built on, right? White people
Well,
liking white people in movies,
Yeah.
running
But
real
he does
fast.
have 2 children of color.
Exactly, and he has this enough, I don't know, scruples to return those awards. I think
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson's been a big, has been all about it too.
She's also
Yeah.
highlighted several sexist, improper sexist interactions she's had at the Globes.
So look, the world is changing slowly. Oh,
Always,
we're boring, Jeff.
No, every show, it never fails. I yawn. I always try to hide it. I don't know what it is.
Did you
You
guys
didn't even try that time.
No.
speaking of Saturday Night Live? Did you guys see Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live?
Oh, I thought he was pathetic.
Mm.
And then I found out he was autistic.
Yeah, do you want to read that?
I will. Elon Musk has shocked cryptocurrency bulls by abandoning plans for his automaker Tesla to accept Bitcoin as payment, citing environmental concerns. The world's second richest man announced on Twitter that Tesla had suspended vehicle purchases using Bitcoin due to concerns over the increasing use of fossil fuels to mine Bitcoin transactions. Cryptocurrency is a good idea on many levels, and we believe it has a promising future, but this cannot come at a great cost to the environment, Mr. Musk said in a statement. Musk also revealed his Asperger's syndrome on his first TV hosting appearance on last weekend's Saturday Night Live. I actually have to say that I did think at the time when I heard about the actual fossil fuel cost of Bitcoin that Elon Musk accepting it was kind of hypocritical, since he's building his car on the green energy. But he's come around, and I appreciate that.
I'm going to be honest. I don't get the Bitcoin thing. It's imaginary money.
It is imaginary money.
So
But
how-
money's imaginary.
Right, but how does it
I know,
cost
but-
fossil fuels? Like, I don't understand. If it's not real, there's no physical money. How does it cost money?
Because the computer transactions, the multi-faceted, multi-step electronic transactions that take place use so much electricity. It's like thousands of transactions.
My brain.
It is. It's really ridiculous. It's so
And I don't
so
get it.
imaginary.
So, right? So if it's a Bitcoin, like, so it's worth like $55,000 for one coin at this point, right? So it's going to cost me one Bitcoin to buy a Tesla, basically? Is that how this works?
But so much of the Bitcoin is hidden in cyber hell, for lack of a better word.
Maths.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I
My
bought
worst
some.
nightmare.
I bought
My
some,
worst
and then
nightmare.
I bought some of the other shit too.
The Dogecoin.
Yeah.
But
It's just fun. It's like gambling.
All right,
It
can
is
you guys
gambling. It is
explain this
gambling.
to me then? I don't know about this either.
Sources
What-
said ransomware attack was likely to have been caused by a Russian cyber criminal gang called DarkSide, who infiltrated Colonial's network and locked the data on some computers and services, demanding a ransom on Friday.
What happened?
They shut down the Colonial Pipeline. Is one of the largest pipelines distributing gas and petrolates in the southeastern United States, all the way up into the DC area. And so they shut down all their computers and said, we need $5 million. And it is suspected that the Colonial Pipeline owners paid it. because they were losing $5 million an hour.
And that's why people are hoarding all the gas.
That's why people are hoarding. But I've been saying for the last 4 years, I can't hear you, Stephen. Your sound is gone. I've been saying for the
that makes sense to me now. Sorry, I was muted.
I've been saying for the last 4 years that this dark Russian people were infiltrating all of our computer networks. There are times when all of the medical equipment just crashes all at once. All of the medical software crashes. And there's like 800 people in clinics across the country who can't get online to do their dispensing. And every time it happens, I look at when people around me and I said, it's the Russians. And they all look at me like, oh, that's Vera. She's so crazy.
Look at Vera. It didn't happen back in the day. We used pencil and paper.
It always feels like somebody's watching me.
I just want to protect our cyber networks.
Well, look, you guys might have cyber problems in Australia. At the moment, we have smaller problems. Millions and millions of smaller problems.
Spy.
I don't understand the problem. Gasoline and a blowtorch.
No, this is the thing. The poisons aren't killing them.
Right. So
you can't set them on fire.
Blowtorch.
Set them on fire.
Yeah, but they're in farms and stuff, guys.
Steve, I gotta know, how far is this from Queensland where you live?
I don't live in Queensland. I live in New South Wales.
Oh,
so
okay.
I live an hour and a half from Sydney, so that's too close for me.
That's way too close.
Yeah.
But you guys still have magpies.
Yeah, but look, it's hard times here for everyone, guys. This is a farm cat that just randomly was found with a mouse on its head.
That looks like a very aggressive cat.
Yeah, it's a farm cat, and he can't even kill all the mice. That's some fucked up shit, yo.
Love is love, guys.
Sometimes you just got to admit defeat, right?
Right.
I think you just got to hand it in. So I'm going to admit defeat now because I think I'm about to give out. Thanks for watching today, guys. We will be back at you next week, maybe with some new faces. You never know. We'll see you
bitches
soon.
are fired.
Oh,
bye.
Just really quickly.
Oh,
voter suppression. It's a real thing. You don't live in a democracy.
oh, Vera! Wait, Vera! Wait! I totally forgot. It's Vera. I forgot.
Maybe she wasn't gonna do it. I don't know.
I forgot. I'll do an event. Jesus Christ, I'm fired. Vera, go for it.
All right, guys. The last thought of the night: voter suppression. I knew it was happening. I saw all the TVs about the law in Texas and the law in Atlanta and the law in Florida, but I didn't realize how close to home it was until at a local school board meeting the other night, a whole bunch of white people who were all pissed off that some of the teens who go to Auburn High School want to name the building the Harriet Tubman High, got all pissed off because these kids don't have a say. They don't pay taxes and only taxpayers should vote. Voter suppression. You don't get it. If you believe that only certain people have a right to vote, then you don't want to live in a democracy. You need to pack your bags and get the fuck gone. I've spent my whole life hearing conservatives say, America, love it or leave it. Well, if you don't believe in voting, you don't love this country, and you need to get the fuck gone.
I don't get it. Why do people who don't go to school and they're not going to be in high school care what the fuck it's named?
Exactly. And why would somebody be so opposed to naming it after an iconic heroine?
Because they're racist.
Because they're racist, I know, but it just pisses me off. And now they're saying that nobody who doesn't pay taxes in this town has a vote, even though there's like lots of single parents or even
how many of those fuckers don't own
renting.
property? Right. Exactly.
They get no say in how where their kids get to go to school because they don't own a house.
What? It's a
Fuck
fucking
you.
name.
You don't want America. You want Russia. Pack your fucking bags and get the fuck out.
I don't know her.
She's done it again, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now we're going to say goodbye because I can't keep my fucking my concept for the show straight. I've done a really good job. We'll be back next week, hopefully with me with a voice and some panelists. See ya! All right, my one favorite Joan Rivers joke while I've got this voice. Have you heard her Anne Frank joke?
Yeah.
It's in the worst taste.
It's horrible.
Goes, oh, hello, it's my friend, my good friend Anne Frank here. Oh, she thinks she's so smug. Oh, Joan, I'm an author. She wrote one book. Didn't even have an ending. The Germans are coming up there.